is the ethical appeal and means to convince the audience of the speaker's credibility and integrity. A speaker would use ethos to convince the audience that he is a credible source. The word ethics is derived from the Greek word ethos. It is not enough to have ethos. Ethos must be conveyed by first choosing the appropriate language, level, topic, and vocabulary appropriate for each audience. In other words, first having integrity in what you say and then communicating it to them at their frequency through eye contact, body language, tone of voice, in order to elicit and evoke change in them, aligning body, mind, and spirit so that your message becomes crystal clear. And here's a famous quote by Aristotle in the book Rhetoric. He says, "It is this simplicity that makes the uneducated more effective than the educated when addressing popular audiences, makes them, as the poets tell us, charm the crowd's ears more finely. Educated men lay down broad general principles. Uneducated men argue from a common knowledge and draw obvious conclusions." So here are a few examples of ethos that you can use in a speech or presentation. As a doctor, I am qualified to tell you that this course of treatment will generate the best results. So you see what happened there in that quote? He gives a prelude. He says, as a doctor, he qualifies himself. He reminds you that he's the doctor, he's made the studies, he has the experience. This is all reminding your audience of your ethos. Of course, you have to be careful to do that in a non-arrogant fashion. All right? You're just reminding them of your position and your qualifications. Another example. My 3 decades of experience in public service, my tireless commitment to the people of this community, and my willingness to reach across the aisle and cooperate with the opposition makes me the ideal candidate to serve as your mayor. Okay, so there you see a very good example of 3 things brought up in one sentence, just reminding the audience of the experience and the qualification. So if you're trying to convince your mate of which dog to buy, it says, the veterinarian says that an Australian Shepherd will be the perfect match for our active lifestyle. So if you want to convince your mate or your boss, you just remind them of some authority which has given these recommendations. It doesn't have to be always from you directly. So there are more examples. Our expertise in roofing is evidenced not only by our 100 years of business and our staff of qualified technicians, but in the decades of satisfied customers who have come to expect nothing but the best. I mean, this quote just says it all. They have over 100 years experience, decades of satisfied customers. I think you're getting the idea. All you have to do is, in a polite way, in a diplomatic way, just prompt the memory of your experience or your ethos, your satisfied customers, anything you can to really just underline the fact that you're the right person for the job, that they should listen to you. So, of course, ethos is not something you just put on as a mask or as a new hat when you want to impress an audience. Ethos should actually become a way of life. It's something that you can integrate in your life, in your daily practice. In fact, it should really be behind everything you say and do. This is how you build your reputation in the workplace. I'm going to ask you a few questions and you just answer yes or no. Keep track of your answers. They're just 10 questions. Determine what your general ethos or reputation is at the moment. The first question, do you focus on building trust with your coworkers daily? Just answer yes or no. Do you cultivate reliability through consistency? All right? You can't only be reliable once or one-off. You have to be consistent in your reliability to build your reputation and ethos, to be considered a person of integrity. Do you choose to be assertive rather than aggressive and coercive to get things done? All right, being aggressive is actually the easy route. Most of us are programmed when we want something done, we just start shouting, we start pounding our fist, we start coercing and even threatening people who don't collaborate with us. Really, a sign of a confident leader is to be more assertive rather than aggressive. Are you flexible and willing to see things from different perspectives? Granted, you're the leader, you're the manager, obviously your experience, you've been put in that place because your viewpoint is valued by your company. Or you may have your own enterprise, you're the boss, in other words, you're paying, and obviously your viewpoint is very important. But the people you're working with have been hired for a reason. And there's a saying that says, there's no such thing as a silly question, as a stupid question. There's only a stupid answer. So if one of the people in your team offers a different perspective or asks a question, you need to be willing to consider that. Granted, there may be limitations of time. Sometimes just what you say has to go. But other times you need to be willing and make time to listen to other points of view. This can indeed save you and enrich the experience on any project you're working on. Are you personal and authentic with your coworkers? All right, this is a very important question. Now, when we say personal and authentic, it doesn't mean you need to reveal your personal life and your problems that are going on at home, but you can show your authentic face, your real authentic caring for other people. If you authentically care for other people, they will return that. They will authentically care for you. Do you focus on actions rather than argument? Actions speak louder than words. There's no use talking your head off, analyzing things, as my coach Tony Robbins would say. Stop analyzing and get to work. Show actions. Do you listen to others? And by listening, I don't mean listening in a way that you just want to prepare your answer. Most of us do not listen. We're already preparing our comeback, all right? People know you're listening to them when you repeat what they've just told you, all right? When your body language is showing that you're nodding, your open body position, that you really are fully present when they're speaking, and you show also empathy. You put yourself in their shoes and really reflect everything that they're telling you. So once they feel fully heard, it also puts them at ease, and they're more likely to tell you the truth rather than what you just want to hear. So it's very important. Do you listen to your coworkers? Do you listen to your clients, really to their needs? Are your life values reflected in your work? All right, you speak about excellence, you speak about duty, you speak about fair play, you speak about many values that you have, or you consider yourself a person of high values. But really looking at yourself critically, are you embodying these values, or are you at least working towards them? Anything else is hypocrisy. Now, you may not want to be consciously a hypocrite. Most of us don't know that we are a hypocrite. But hypocrite comes from the Greek word hypokrisia, which is the same as the word for acting. Okay, so are you acting your values, or are you really living your values and inspiring your team to live with similar values? So the 10th question is, do you believe in Aristotle's quote? The quote is, "The only way to achieve true success is to express yourself completely and in service to society." Now, that might seem like altruistic, but if you really think about it, isn't that what customer service is all about? really serving the needs of your client. Real fortunes have been created on serving client needs. So find the area of society that you want to serve with your product and service, and be there for them and serve their needs completely and authentically. This will be great for business, and it's of course good for society in general. So if you answered yes to 10 out of 10 of these questions, well, then you're nearly a perfect human being. You are at the highest level of ethos, and we really congratulate you, and I would be blessed to meet you. If you answered anything less than 9 or 10 out of 10, then this course is really going to be even more useful for you, because you will be able to improve your level of ethos, your level of integrity, which in turn, as we said, will make you a more persuasive and influential speaker. So we're going to do an exercise now. You can do this exercise in front of a video camera, and I'm going to give you a small script to fill out, and just watch yourself in the video camera at the end to see how you've presented yourself and if you feel comfortable with what's coming through. All right? So the script is, I am, you fill in the blank with your name, and I work in, say, your department or the field of your profession. The 3 professional values that I most believe in are 1, 2, 3. Choose 3 from this list that I'm going to show you. Otherwise, choose your own. It's a very simple exercise. It's going to be your first presentation in front of the video camera. So make sure there's good lighting and that you feel comfortable where you're sitting. So just say, I am, for example, I'll say, I am Dr. Algistis Agio, and I do life coaching, I do management training, and the 3 values that I live by are, you can say honesty, integrity, excellence, courage, collaboration, efficiency, temperance. All right, so what are your 3 life values, in other words, life and work values? We're speaking more about the professional space, and really say what you want, what you believe in. It doesn't really matter if you haven't lived them up until now. Just saying them out loud will help in your own transformation. Choosing the values by which you live. I know, for example, that I believe a lot in excellence, and that is something that characterizes me, is that I am constantly improving, because my goal is excellence. The outcome I want is to create one of the best programs for public speaking, influence, for leaders such as yourself. Serving society is another value of mine. I live my life in a way that I can serve the most amount of people. That's a reason why I use media, why I do big speeches, public speaking, or use the internet. One of the things I believe in is serving as many people as possible. A lot of my work is free, it's online. You have invested in a course, and that's super. But you know, one of the things I like to do is give a lot of information for free on the internet and really help change lives. Another value of mine is health and wellness. You know, I choose to be healthy, I invest time in my wellness. So you go ahead and name 3 values that are important to you, especially at the workplace. And I guarantee you this will make a whole difference in the way people see you and the way you see yourself, your own self-image, who you are to yourself and to others. The second exercise is an exercise that you can do on a regular basis. This is an exercise for a leader of ethos and integrity, a leader who has created a reputation of someone of high integrity, a person you can trust. And the exercise is very simple. Often throughout the day, especially when you're having anxiety or anger, or you're generally frustrated, it's very important that you ask yourself the question, is my thought true? is this thought that I just had true? Ask yourself, because we often tell ourselves lies. Now, they're not intentional lies, they're just automatic thoughts that come that are limiting lies, they're fear-based lies, and we consider them natural thoughts. So I want you to be vigilant throughout the day and say, is my thought true? And then you can follow it up with saying, are my thoughts and my actions aligned? Are my thoughts and my actions aligned? Or is it that I'm saying one thing and doing another? Am I thinking one thing and saying another? Okay? This is the strongest trait of the leader, is that the actions and the thoughts are aligned, and this way they generate trust and people are committed to you once you start doing this. And there's a very nice quote of Socrates that goes very well with this exercise. Be as you wish to seem. Be as you wish to seem. Socrates was very much teaching about integrity and about living up to your reputation. This is an exercise that you can do on a regular basis throughout the day, being vigilant about your thinking. So now we're going to move to the second category, the second component of a charismatic speaker, of an influential speaker, and that is pathos.